Done implementing your test? Or maybe you're prepping to release your test program. Let's evaluate the quality of your test program's data using IG-Correlate scoring system that instantly flags underperforming tests and or sites. So let's get you quickly started in just 5 minutes and see what kind of scores we get. IG-Correlate is part of our Oasis tool suite and was first released in version 4.3, but we always recommend downloading the latest version from our eKnowledge website. And currently it supports only the UltraFlex or the UltraFlex Plus platforms. We recommend a minimum dataset of at least 30 loop runs or running over 30 parts for a good statistical representation of your data. Remember to turn on your expanded mode in the IGXL datalog setup, or if you're using IG benchmark, to make sure you have your upper and lower limits inside your datalogs. Now let's open up IG-Correlate and create a new configuration file. You can go ahead and select the path where you want to save it, either choose the default name or specify your own, and click Save. The configuration file is really just a JSON file containing all your customized settings, your targets, and whatnot to load IG-Correlate at another time. Let's import our SDF files. IG-Correlate supports two use models. You can either analyze a single file or you can compare it against a reference or golden SDF file. For this example, we're just going to go over the single SDF file. So click on the SDF button, navigate to your file. You can keep the rest of these default and press the green button to convert. This will create two files, the test statistics, which will contain all of the statistical calculations for each of your tests, as well as each site and combined. The details file contains all of your measured values for each of your tests. Final step is to select where you want to save your output reports. So navigate to the directory where you want to save your reports and press Select Folder. You notice now that the green button is highlighted, so you can actually run IG-Correlate. So let's click it and see what it does. Once IG-Correlate has completed, you'll see a message at the bottom of the window saying the analysis has finished. You can also take a look at the message window for any key insights or observations, like the worst offending test or what's the average quality scores by site. But if you're like me, I'm more of a visual person, so let's go take a look around the user interface. The first thing you want to do is open up your pre-correlation report tab. This shows you the overall scores of your test program's data. And if you ran IG-Correlate multiple times, you can see that it maintains a historical record so you can track how your test program trends over time. You'll notice that IG-Correlate produces three scores. The main one I look at is the score. This one is the overall readiness or quality score of your entire test program's data. The other two factors are confidence and bonus. The confidence kind of tells you on average, how well does IG-Correlate think we can meet correlation targets? For example, if we're missing information like missing limits, or maybe you have zero standard deviation on a particular test, this is going to bring down the confidence score proportionally to the weight of those targets. The bonus kind of gives you additional points if you exceed the minimum target threshold up to the maximum target threshold. After taking a look at your scores, you can look at the individual scores of each test by clicking on the quality scores by test. The graph is interactive, so you can hover around the lines or you can zoom in to look at the performance of a particular test. And if you wanted to dig into the details further, you can right-click and click on the View Measured Data to take a look at some box plots or line graph. You're also able to disable or enable sites, or what I like to do is overlay some common tests together to kind of spot any irregular patterns. For example, let's say I'm doing a DC measurement on various pins and I expect the performance to be pretty similar. You can clearly see here that there's some irregularities with these other pins, so we can go and investigate. Another interesting thing you can do is, let's say you were debugging and then all of a sudden your IG-Correlate scores dropped. You can actually go to the pre-correlation report, select two data points on the score, and then click on Compare Pre-correlation Reports. This is, of course, if you still have those reports in your directory. But what this will do is create another tab called the comparison, and then you can visualize exactly which test is causing your scores to drop. This was a short video just to get you started with IG-Correlate. Now it's your turn to go give it a try. Stay tuned for our other videos on creating different types of reports, as well as, hey, how do I create this custom target for my test? Till next time.